full disclosure, I don't have a lot of room on this desk to work today, but we're going to walk our way through it. Hi, this is Kelly with Kelly's Creative Dream Studios, and it is Tag Tuesday. So we are going to make the first tag for our new Pink Christmas Journal. And I was inspired by a quilted tag that Madi from Spectrum Art Creations did. And I'm going to link her video down below. I encourage you to go watch it. She'll walk you through things a lot slower than I am, and she'll have some cool products to show you that I don't have that I'm not using. But this is the tag we are making today. Now, if you've been to my channel for a while, thanks for coming back. And if you're new, you're going to learn some little things about me. And one is, I hate putting decorations on tags because I'm afraid of them getting hung up when I go in and out of pockets. I never thought about putting decoration up at the top other than a little pull tab like a whale tail. Never even thought about it till I watched Madi's video this week. So watch other people's videos and be inspired. So I knew that I could get away with this Santa flush on this tag and not have to worry about it. And I'm going to talk about some of these elements as we go. So let's start with one of the things Madi encourages is to use as your base, use papers that you would not normally look for anything. Now remember in that paper pad we had some that would like make wall art where there was a big design flush in the middle of the page. And I thought that's what I want to do. Now, she was using 2x2 squares, so I thought, okay, 2x2 side by side is going to be a 4x6 tag. That's a really honking big tag. So I took it down to, I think, 2x6. No, 3x6. And rather than recutting squares, I decided I'm just going to lay them in here, and then we'll trim off when we're done. So I'm going to take one of my 3x6 tags. I'm going to put a paper clip on these and move these out of the way, because I'll have to make at least one more tag, because you know there's going to be 3 signatures in my Christmas book. So we're going to move this out of the way. I'm trying not to lose track of things. And so we have this to start with. Now to do this, what I'm doing, I've got to take my cheaters off because I feel like they're going to fall off my head. So I need to find my center of my tag. And did I put my pencil in the holder? Oh, there it is. So I'm using my centering ruler. And this one is from, I don't know, the Ruler Company, See-Through Ruler Company. And I know that half my tag, center of my tag, is going to be right there because I have the 1/2 inch on this side and the 1/2 inch mark on this side. And I'm going to do the same thing down at the bottom and make sure I'm in the right spot. And am I worried about pencil? Nope. Because we're going to cover it up. So I'm going to draw my line. Now what that does is it gives me, and I'm going to put this away real quick so I don't lose it. I keep all but 2 rulers on this jump ring, and it hangs on the end of my utility card over here. And then I know where my rulers are at, especially those clear ones that tend to get lost where you don't want to lose them. Okay, so now we have a center. So these are going to be 1.5 inches, but my blocks are cut 2x2. And where I got these from, I just had those papers. Here we go. I went through and I cut my pages. They are 12 by 9. And so what I cut off of the bottom will be used for belly bands and stuff in here, but it also started with my blocks. Now I have a piece of, I guess I'll get a new one. Let's see, I have a piece of contact paper back in here that works great for doing my gluing. And I am doing a 1/2 at a time. And so I'm just going to run glue right up along that pencil line. And remember, glue squishes, so you don't have to go directly over the line. And then what I did was I came back and I used my silicone brush to give me a nice smooth surface. I do not like using glue sticks. Now you can if you want to. That is totally entirely up to you. I just don't like using glue sticks because things tend to not stick. Now I have a whole bunch of these 2x2s up here. And I have them stacked kind of everywhere. I'll try pulling them down where you can see what I have to work with. Some of them have neat designs, and thankfully I have a little bit of time to work. I'm going to put this one down here at the bottom because it's a little heavier, and I'm lining it up right on that pencil line, and then when we're done we'll go back and we'll trim the outside edge off. Now I was kind of alternating darker things with lighter things, so I'm going to stick this one up there, and I don't want to get him on top of that other one. I want to butt him right up against it. So that takes a little finesse. And then let's do this one. No, let's do this one. Now, these still came out a little shy for the, can't get a hold of one. Still come out a little shy for the length, and that was just on my cutting, and I'm okay with that. Because we can trim it up when we're done. Okay? So I've got just a squish right there that I'll trim off when we're done. And then I'm going to come back on the other side, run my glue. Like that, and then I'm going to get my glue out of the way for the time being. You know, I have this water cup on this silicone crafting mat, and I have started leaving it up. I don't use it for water, but I use it for sticking stuff in that I don't want to lose track of on my desk when I'm crafting, such as my silicone brush. But you do want to make sure you get the glue all the way to the center. Okay, we'll put that down, and then we need to come back with, let's put one of these down here, and I got something to show you on these at another point in time, probably not today's video. And we have, let's do that bobble in here, kind of pair him up with the trees, and let's do something really light up here. Let's do this one. Right up here. Now see, that's going to come up. I'm going to squish that one over a little bit because I want to make sure I line everything up. And with my trimmers, sometimes lining stuff up is difficult. Okay. So we have those in place. Okay. And I'm going to give that a wave and let it dry off a bit. I'm going to come back with my sticky scissors. These are my non-sticks from Westcott that I use with my glued images. And I'm going to put my cheaters back on for this one because I know otherwise I'm going to mess it up. And I'm just going to trim right up against that edge. Now I could use a trimmer for this, but then I'm going to wind up with a sticky trimmer blade. So I just as soon use my Westcotts and do my very best to trim this up. Just like this. Just take your time, no big deal. Now this tag, once you've done one or two, really goes together really quickly. Now these I'm going to save. These are going to go into my masterboard bag, and I'll show you that in a minute. I've got it over here. And I think, just going to trim this off just a hair. That one will go in the garbage. Okay. I've got that. Now I'm going to stack these all up out of my way because I don't want to have them everywhere and I don't need them. Now some of these squares I cut from scraps that I had already had from a project that I did. And I think I found that project today. I'll have to double check, and if so, I'll bring it back for a show and tell. But I think I found that today. Okay, so I've got these done and up and out of my way. Perfect. Now, first thing we need to do is we're going to make our corners. Now on the other one, I did it on the inch side. So I'm going to come up. Now see, I should have trimmed that off, but I think we're going to be good doing it this way because then we got rid of that edge all by itself. trim that off. And let's come back and trim that up. And there we go. And this tool is always linked in my description box. It's the Tab Corner Precision Tool. You can buy the two sizes separately, or you can buy the pair. Use mine a lot. Okay, now we're going to stamp. And the next thing we're going to do, now you could do this one of two ways. You could actually get out your sewing machine and you could stitch. I, on the other hand, as soon as I figure out where I laid my stamp block, there it is. I am using a stamp, and I'm using this set that I bought from Spectrum Art Creations off their Etsy shop. And I think I'm going to do this one like I did on the other one. I love this messy string. Now they have 2 or 3 sets. One of them has a stitched heart that I really like. It just wasn't what I needed at the time, so I just bought the one. But I'm probably going to go back in and order another one when I've got something coming from Spectrum. I got a little bit of glue there. Before we do that, let's get our glue eraser out and get that off of there. Now, you know, normally when we erase, we tend to go this way. When you're erasing glue, just roll it one direction and you'll have better luck getting your glue off. Okay, so I'm going to go this way on the sides, just like that. And then I'm going to come back and do the other side. As soon as I not run my thumb through it. I have got such a busy week. I thought that the Writers' Conference was next week. It starts this Thursday. So I'm going to be trying to get things done up ahead of time for you guys so that I can totally be unoblivious and focused on what I need to be doing for the Writers' Conference this weekend. And I'm going to go right there. And then I'm going to come back and do this one right there. Now, if I get ink on the back of this, I'm not concerned because we're going to be covering that back up. So don't worry about it. That's why we put our squares on the ugly side of the paper, because it really didn't make any difference. Okay, now I could have done it on the clean side and done the ugly part on the back. Either way would have worked. Okay, now I did do a little extra stitching on this one, but I don't on the other one. You'll see I did the stitching. Oops. Santa Claus is hanging onto the lace. There we go. But I don't know if I'm going to do that this time. I think for the sake of time, I'm not going to mess with that part. The next thing we need to do is we need to run this through an embossing folder. Now let me put this away. And I know where this is at. Kind of, sort of. Okay. I had several embossing folders to choose from. I had this snowflake from Sizzix, and this is the one that I used because I loved all the swirly. I also have the one we used on the tag the other day. I have this one, which is Cuttlebug. There was my glue paper I was looking for. And then I also have this quilted one from Stampin' Up. So, but I've got the one laid out that I'm going to use. And that is the snowflake with the swirl. And that's what I'm going to use. But I have to move stuff out of my way. And bring my Sizzix up here and try not to lose stuff. Because there's not a lot of room over here for a Sizzix. But I have my platforms loaded. And I'm going to go ahead and this is a Doris folder as well. And I'm going to go ahead and slide this in. Now the other thing you can do with this, and I chose not to, get this off of here, is if I want to add additional distressing, I could go over this with the embossed sessions and bring them up a little more. Thought about doing that with pink, I may yet. We'll see. For right now, I want to get this off my table and out of my way. Get my Doris folder over here and put away, because I'm trying to be really good about putting stuff away when I'm done. Okay? And we are running fast on time. Okay, the next thing we need to do is, if we want to add a little color, is do some splattering. Now, I could not get my acrylic pen to splatter anywhere, so I just dabbled, just for a little hint of snow falling in the background. Okay, then I have several of these pieces. I'm going to wave this and let it dry for a minute. Then I have several of those pieces cut from the paper, and I have a Santa. And we're going to pull him out of there. I'll have to go back and cut the rest of those out. But for now, we have a Santa Claus. And I did distress him just a little bit, so he had a little bit of a shadow to pop off the card. So I'm going to do this. Now, I know this is going to be a slightly longer video, but when I went looking for a tag idea, I loved what Madi did, and I just had to do it. So, there we go. Okay, I'm going to get this back over here. Get my glue out. Poor Bob has been on his own so much today. And then I had to go and inform him that he was going to be without me Thursday, Friday, and Saturday while I'm at this writers' conference. I'm home. It's online. It's a great writers' conference. But I'm not going to be able to do anything around the house. I am at the conference. And I gave him the option of I could run away, or I could stay home, with the understanding that I'm not available Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. Okay, we have the splatter. We have our Santa in place. Now let's come back with our 1/8" punch, and we're going to put a hole right at the top, just like that. And I tried to center it as best I could. Now, I have things laying here. I'm going to be using these buttons. I am going to be using pieces of lace, pieces of twine, brad, and I had a bulb pin laying out here, and I don't see it now. So, but that's okay. That's what we have a box for. We'll take a pin out of the box. I have a variety of colors, and I think for this one, I think I'm going to do the darker pink this time. I did the light one on the other one. And all we do, let me get my scissors. Oh, and I had one more piece on here. Let me cut this out. These were some of the cutoffs from the cutoff page, and I wanted to use this. So we're going to come in here, and we're going to trim this down, because I don't want the gold. I just want the tag itself. The gold on here made it too wide, is why I chose not to do that. And then I'm going to cut this down pretty short. And get those out of the way. And this. And then this one I'm going to take, and I'm going to snake it. I'm going to snake it just a little bit. I get a little bit too far there. Okay. I've never been good at that snake tongue, ever. That's why I have a punch. Tell me, do you have problems doing that? Okay, this we also need to put a hole in. Ooh, I went too far down. So we're going to compensate for that, we're going to snip that top off a little more. I don't want it too wide. Okay. And then I'm going to use just a little piece of this lace. Now this is stretchy, and it was double wide, so I took part of it apart. And we'll save that in our box. And I want to use a little bit of this, and I'm kind of staggering them. I don't want everything to be the same length. I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to do this. Okay, and this is where this comes in handy. I'm going to bring my lace pieces up on my pen, just like that, and then this is going to go on top, just like that. And then I have a couple of buttons. They're two different sizes, and I'm going to stick one. I'm going to try and stick one on there, That's where my trimmers come into issues. There we go. Okay, so now we have a dangle for the top of our tag, but we're not through yet. We're going to take a brad, and I have some of these that have pink crystals on the top, and that's what we're going to use. Ooh, that's a red one. We don't want red, we want pink. I wonder if there's a pink one. I was going to say, I wonder if I pulled the wrong bag or if I got that one in the wrong bag. But there we go. That takes care of that. Now we're going to take and we're going to put this through there, but we're going to do one more thing first. And I had it out and ready to use. I had somewhere here, I have a piece of binder's twine. Pink and white stripe. Binder's twine has gone bye-bye. Don't despair, I will find something. I had that and the ball pen both laying out to use. So let's duck over here really quick and just grab something that is semi the same. Really like that pink and white stripe, but no, that's more of a peach. But it will do for now. Because what you're going to do, oh God, I really don't like this peach. And of course I don't have any white over here at all. I have yellow and white, red and white, no white. So we're going to make this work, and I may come back and change this out later, just for the sake of time. Because I had it here. And you know that's going to drive me crazy now, right? It's going to drive me absolutely bonkers. But what we're going to do is we're going to feed this through the hole. Guess what's right in front of me? Guess what's right in front of me? You ever do that? Snake it'll bit you. That's what my mom used to say. Snake it'll bit you. But I'm going to do something a little different than Maddie did. I'm going to run my string through the prongs first so that it's secured. And then put my eyelet through there and open it up. As soon as I can make my fingers do what I need them to do. Okay? That's helped secure that just a little bit. And then I'm going to tie it around there and secure it underneath that brad nice and tight so it's not going anywhere. Just like that. And then I'm going to make a little bit of a loop here. And I'm not going to tie it tight. I want a little bit of a guard there. So I'm going to kind of walk it up a little bit. Now you can clip those off or you can leave them, but then you come back with your bulb pin and hang it from that piece of twine. Just like that. And like I said, you can cut these off. You can leave them as part of your tassel. But you have a tassel on a tag. Isn't that cool? Now, to cover this up and give yourself the writing space, I'm not going to walk you through this one because, you know, I had it cut and ready to go too. But all you're going to do is you're going to back this with a piece of cardstock, and it will add some, because you could leave this, but writing across that embossing would not be easy. So you're going to back this with a piece of cardstock, trim it out. It will cover your brad prongs, and it will give you a smooth writing space. So that's going to do it for our Tag Tuesday this week. Please, please, please go watch Maddie's video. It's a great one. She did a much better job than I did. She did do it as a live, so there is some chat going on, and it's a fun time. Turn it on and watch your work. In the meantime, I will be back here tomorrow to show you the pages I have picked out for this journal. In the meantime, please remember to like, subscribe, Like, share, subscribe, and creative Christmas blessings.